Warning, today is going to be a loud one. I've been invited down to Marshall HQ in Milton Keynes. We're going to be taking a look at the factory and the studio. I've always wanted to visit Marshall ever since I started playing guitar. So today is going to go a little bit like this. Hello guys, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury drum machines here in Nottingham, England. In today's episode, we've got another exciting vlog for you. I'm going to be heading down to Milton Keynes here in the UK to check out Marshall HQ. It's been a dream of mine since I've been a young kid to check out this showroom, factory, HQ, whatever you want to call it, in Milton Keynes. Obviously been a big supporter of Marshall amps over the years, owning Silver Jubilees, DSLs. When I was playing in bands, Marshalls used to be my go-to. So a couple of months ago, Joel, who's their artist relations manager, got in contact with me and invited me down to the showroom. Got a date sorted, and that date is today, so I can't wait to show you Marshall HQ in Milton Keynes. So I've just arrived in Tamworth now. I've had my first train and I've got about an hour to go, so I'm very excited. So let's get the train and head to Milton Keynes. And make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this video to see future vlogs just like this one. So I arrived in Milton Keynes, got an Uber, and I arrived at Marshall HQ. So as you can see by the sign, I've just arrived here at Marshall HQ, so let's go inside and meet Joel. Arriving at Marshall HQ was a surreal experience to say the least. From the moment I stepped through the door, I felt the presence of something legendary. There was a plethora of amps on display, showcasing Marshall's rich history with signature artists. Everybody from Jimi Hendrix to Zakk Wylde, Slash, The Who, Eric Clapton, everything was here. I was deeply grateful to be welcomed into a space that has shaped the sound of generations and continues to drive music forward. So let's take a look at some of the amps. So is everything built on site here, yeah?
Everything's built on site. In the UK, all our main amps are. This is all more of the signature range. This is the number one, so it's the very first one that was done in Jim's Music Shop in Hamburg.
Wow. So this amp here is the first amplifier ever made by Jim Marshall, and it's called the Number One. It went into production under the name JTM 45 and was an immediate success, garnering 23 orders on its first day in production in September of 1962. This amplifier is a piece of rock and roll history, and this is the amp that started it all. And that amp evolved into the Mark II JTM 45, which looks like this. Wow. Nice little bike.
Yeah.
Was that a collaboration then?
No. For our 50th anniversary, our Belgian distributors gave it to us. So,
oh, lovely. One thing I learned about this trip is that Marshall love motorbikes. And they have an even cooler one in the Marshall studio, so make sure to stay tuned for that. The lovely gentleman showing me around today is called Joel, and he's the artist liaison manager for Marshall, so he's obviously met rock and roll royalty. As a result of this, he was telling me about some of the rigs that artists play, and he mentioned about Noel Gallagher's rig for the new Oasis tour. So let's hear a little bit about that now.
So Noel is using two of these. So he's got two of these, and he's got two high watts.
Yeah.
This is just basically the SV20. And then
Nice.
Bonehead is using 1974X combos with his JCM 900 mixer. This is one of the coolest amps we've got here as well. It's a Spinal Tap.
Oh, does it go up to 11? And of course, it did.
But yeah, this is more of our signature range. So we've got Dave Mustaine stack here, which is actually signed and made in the factory himself.
Yeah, I recognise the grill cover.
Yeah, Randy Rhodes.
Oh, cool. Yes.
That's the
classic.
white
Little
one.
white Marshall.
Yngwie Malmsteen, Kerry King, Joe Satriani's the purple one. And then this is all the Slash stuff from the first signature amp that we ever made. That's the 2555. Kind of very similar to the Jubilee.
In the AFD at the top,
Yeah, that's a special edition one.
Getting one of the coolest cabs ever.
Yeah.
Now this amplifier here, the Sex Pistol Marshall JCM 800, is an amp I've seen on Instagram and I really want one. I think it's one of the coolest looking Marshalls ever created. And below it you also have Billy Joe Armstrong's head as well.
This is a Lemmy, original Lemmy. I got that from LA, so it's theirs, but we're just holding it. The craziest thing is it's in such good condition, but you wouldn't believe it. He really looked after his guitar. So
wow. I just noticed that's like a proper bullseye as well, isn't it?
yeah,
Gibson.
that was Zach's number 4. You know, when he was on Gibson. Yeah.
Wow. That is like the coolest guitar. Okay guys, so in today's video we're actually going to be doing a factory tour. So we're going to see how all the Marshall amplifiers are made. So let's head into the factory now and look at the assembly line. So walking into the Marshall factory for the first time was a humbling experience. It was so big, so much going on, loads of like circuit boards and soldering, and it was just an awesome environment. I tried to get as much on camera as possible, but obviously didn't want to bother the people working. To my understanding, there's kind of two operations here in the Milton Keynes factory. You have the kind of hand-wired stuff, and then I guess like the non-hand-wired stuff. So your non-hand-wired stuff's going to be like your Silver Jubilees, your JVMs, and then your hand-wired stuff is going to be the high-end 1959 Plexis. I have to say, I definitely had a newfound appreciation for what goes into all of these amplifiers. It's definitely a process making these amplifiers, but all the effort is very much worth it. So then we wandered into the wood mill, and this is where all the cabinets and head kind of cases are made. All of the cabinets are made from birchwood ply, and it's a very kind of thick and robust material, and as you can see, it's a very aesthetically pleasing joint. This is a very loud environment, but it was very cool to see indeed. All the cabinets then have to go through a drying process, so they're hung on this kind of conveyor belt system and obviously have time to dry, and then after that it's time for the toe leg.
This is like a Levan, so it doesn't need corners or anything like that, it's very smooth.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So this is our three styles of covering. So this is our JTM, which is our 60s.
Yeah.
Then you've got your Levan, which is more like your JTM 800s, has corners.
It was so refreshing seeing all this process being done by hand. It looks like a very complicated process, so all the respect to the artisans that make these Marshall amplifiers. But here are a couple of the cabinets finished, ready for the assembly line. We also stumbled upon this box of Marshall logos, which we thought was pretty funny, and obviously Celestion speakers. Just as we were making our way out of the Tolex area, we saw some pretty cool custom cabinets. Obviously, got the English flag there, a tiger one, a slash one. And this is really demonstrating what Marshall can do with a custom order. Very cool to see. I'd love to get a custom Marshall cabinet at some point. And there in the distance is a beautiful looking Randy Rhoads style 412 Marshall cabinet. We then made it to the end of the line, which is where all the amps get checked out. So let's see what's going on here.
And then we have a guy who checks everything to make sure that the logo's put on straight, the handles are put on straight, so scratches. Plus he guitar tests everything, so every Marshall's guitar tested.
Yeah. And then after they're checked, they're boxed up and shipped out to their lovely customers. It was awesome to see how all of these amplifiers are made, and I'm so glad I got to experience it. But now we better get to the Marshall studio. So now that we've seen how the amplifiers are built, we've got to try some out. So let's go and plug one in and rock out. So guys, I've just arrived in the Marshall studio, and there's a couple of things I want to show you before we plug in some of their amplifiers. So the first one is this awesome motorbike. This is in collaboration with BMW and actually features Marshall speakers in it, which is incredible. Look at that seat, just so awesome. I had no idea that Marshall had so many different collabs. We have a signed Marshall cabinet, full stack here.
This cabinet here, so this unit used to be Jim's theatre, red curtains, and when we was like changing it, we used the red curtains from there to put
Oh, that's a cool idea. We then went into the control room, and I was very impressed by the state of this control room. It was so big. Obviously got a picture of Hendrix on the wall there.
Yeah, that's the classic leave desk.
Wow.
It's the one from Pathé Marconi's, a bit like Rolling Stones records and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's great.
So then it was time to make some noise, and with these cabinets, it's definitely going to be a loud one. So let's plug in the hand-wired 1959 Plexi. Okay guys, so I'm here at the Marshall studio, and first up we have one of the JMP modified 1959 Marshalls to check out. Obviously I'm using a Gibson Les Paul. Let's start out on the clean kind of channel. Obviously this is the Mod Shop series, so it has a few of the kind of rhythm clips in it. But this is just like the nice For those interested, this is just a regular Gibson Les Paul standard tobacco burst from the USA line. This is the one I've just been playing through, the Big Daddy JMP Modified 1959. This is the new series from Marshall. As you can see, there's a few dip switches on it. Basically, it's just like rhythm clips. I was in input 1 for this, and as you can hear, it's just a massive sound coming through this 412. You can't really beat the classic Marshall sound. Chimey neck pickup tone, you really can't go wrong with that classic kind of Marshall. The edge of breakup is is that when you roll down the volume, even on a high gain sound like that, you can come to almost like a complete crystal clean tone. And that's what I love about these really high wattage amps. They just sound incredible, feedback really nicely, but they're very dynamic. So when you bring back that picking, it's going to react to what you're playing. So then Joel came in with the JCM 800 modified head, which looked incredible, of course, but this has some really cool features. Obviously, everyone knows 100-watt JCM 800 is very hard to get distortion out of it just from the amp itself, but this has a few rhythm clips, so you're able to get a really nice high-gain distortion, but at a lowish volume. Okay, so now I've plugged in the JCM 800 mod shop through the 412. This might be one of the greatest Marshall tones I've ever got. Let's hear it. into the high sensitivity slot. I've now moved the OD setting down into the middle, so let's hear some blues. Now let's hear the JCM at 100 on its clean setting, or just all dip switches basically off. So let's hear it. Okay guys, now we're trying out the JCM 900, and this is the 20-watt version. It has reverb, and to be fair, it's sounding incredible. So this is going through the little 212. It's such a cool looking amp, so let's try it. So I've got the neck pickup rolled down to 4 on the volume, and just to show you really kind of the roll off on this beautiful amplifier. So let's hear it. So finally, we're going to check out the JTM Studio from Marshall. This is Mark II, and I really like the look of this amplifier. So let's see what it sounds like. which amplifier was my favourite. So out of the two modified heads, obviously this is the kind of new series from Marshall, I'm going to go for the 1959. I liked the kind of rollback on it. You get them classic kind of Hendrix drum shanty tones, sounded incredible for this 412. And out of the two studios, I'm going to go for the JCM 900. That really impressed me. It features a spring reverb, which sounds incredible, 2-channel, and it really reminded me of my old DSL I used to play all the time, but it just had a little bit more of a refined sound. And I love the Mini 212, really nice, and if you're kind of looking for a guitar amp that's a little bit more forgiving, has a little bit more compression in it, I'd go for the JCM 900. So I've played through all the amps now. We're going to finish up here at Marshall HQ and head back to Nottingham. So let's go. So guys, I've just got back to my flat here in Nottingham. Today has been an awesome day, but first off, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to Joel and all the team over at Marshall for, showing me around, inviting me over and being so welcoming. It was an incredible day and I really hope you've enjoyed the vlog today. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on this video. Hit the subscribe button, that means you can join the Squealing Pig Guitars community of guitar players and it really helps us boost this channel, which means more trips like this one. And most importantly, let me know in the comment section below which was your favourite amplifier from today's demo. I know it's very hard to pick a favourite, but let me know in the comment section below. And most importantly guys, let me know in the comment section below what other vlogs you'd like to see on this channel, whether it's guitar shop videos, other brands, maybe a NAMM video, Guitar Summit, whatever it may be. Let me know in the comment section below and we will make it happen. We're building this lovely community of guitar players here on YouTube and it means there's more and more opportunities coming our way. So thank you so much for that. So on the way out, Joel was very kind and gave me a bit of a goodie bag with a few Marshall products. I'm just going to show you them now so you can see what I got. So here's the little goodie bag that they gave me on the way out. I must say I've actually opened one of the items already on the way back. It's this awesome Bluetooth Marshall speaker, so thank you for that. Obviously, you can check out Marshall's website if you want any of this stuff. This is not a sponsored post, I'm just showing you what they gave me. They also gave me a box of headphones, which is really cool to see. I'm looking forward to trying these out. I actually needed a new pair of headphones for these demos, so thank you, Marshall. We've also got a mini Jack Black inspired mini amp. Obviously this is just like a little fun kind of gimmicky amp, but it does actually work, so maybe we'll do a demo on this in a few days for fun. But yeah, that was very kind of them to give me that, so a big thank you to Joel and all the team over at Marshall. I really appreciate it. But guys, that is the end of this Squealing Pig Guitars video. As I mentioned previously, make sure to like, comment down below and subscribe if you're new. But that is the end of this video, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed this Squealing Pig Guitars video. My name is Ben Keightley and I'll see you tomorrow for another one. But until then, keep rocking, guys. I'll see you soon.